I never meant to kidnap a movie star, but here we are. Jake stared at the rearview mirror, his eyes meeting those of the bound man in his back seat. The man's perfectly styled hair was now disheveled, and his designer suit was wrinkled. How had it come to this? Jake wondered, his hands trembling on the steering wheel as he navigated the winding roads of the Hollywood Hills. It had all started with a simple mix-up, a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or perhaps the right place at the right time, depending on how you looked at it. Just 12 hours earlier, Jake had been nothing more than a struggling screenwriter, drowning his sorrows at the Ink Well, a dimly lit bar known for its clientele of Hollywood hopefuls. He'd been nursing his third whiskey, contemplating the rejection letter for his latest script, when a burly man in a black suit approached him. "You Jake Turner?" the man had asked, his voice gruff. Jake had nodded, too depressed to wonder how this stranger knew his name. "Boss wants to see you." Now. Before Jake could protest, he was ushered into a sleek black SUV. His alcohol-addled brain assumed this must be about his script. Maybe some big-shot producer had read it after all. This could be his big break. It wasn't until they arrived at a lavish mansion that Jake realized something was amiss. The burly man handed him a ski mask and a gun, which Jake later discovered was just a realistic-looking prop. "Get in, grab the package, and get out," the man instructed. "The boss is counting on you." Jake, bewildered and still buzzed, found himself nodding along. He stumbled into the mansion, his heart pounding. He was in too deep to back out now. That's when he ran into him, Liam Hudson, Hollywood's golden boy and three-time Oscar nominee. Liam had taken one look at Jake's ski mask and prop gun and immediately raised his hands. "Please," Liam had whispered, "don't hurt me. I'll go quietly." And just like that, Jake became an accidental kidnapper. Now, as they sped through the night, Jake's mind raced. What was he supposed to do with a kidnapped movie star? He couldn't very well return him, he'd end up in jail. But he couldn't keep him either. This was madness. Liam made a muffled sound, snapping Jake back to reality. With a sigh, Jake pulled over and turned to face his unexpected captive. "Look," he said, reaching to remove Liam's gag, "this is all a huge misunderstanding. I'm not actually a kidnapper. I'm a screenwriter, well, a wannabe screenwriter. I thought I was picking up a script or something. I don't know. It's been a weird night." Liam blinked at him, processing this information. Then, to Jake's surprise, he started laughing. It began as a chuckle and grew into a full-bellied laugh that seemed to shake the entire car. "Oh man," Liam gasped between laughs, "this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Please tell me you're pitching me a movie right now." Jake stared at him, dumbfounded. You think this is a pitch?" Liam nodded enthusiastically. A down-on-his-luck screenwriter accidentally kidnaps a famous actor, leading to a wild adventure where they have to clear his name and uncover a real Hollywood conspiracy. It's genius. The self-awareness, the meta-commentary on the industry, I love it. Jake's mind whirled. This was not how he expected this night to go. "So, you're not mad?" "Mad? I'm thrilled. This is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in years. Every role I get offered is the same boring leading man stuff. But this is the kind of story I've been dying to be a part of." Liam's eyes sparkled with excitement. "We have to make this movie. But first, we need to figure out who set you up and why." As they sat there, piecing together the events of the night, a realization dawned on Jake. "Wait a minute," he said, his brow furrowing. "The guy at the bar, he called me Jake Turner." Liam raised an eyebrow. "That's not your name?" Jake shook his head. "No, I'm Jake Bennett. Jake Turner is, oh my God." He slapped his forehead. "Jake Turner is another screenwriter. We've been mistaken for each other before because we look similar and have the same first name. But he's, well, let's just say his scripts are a bit more action-packed than mine." Liam leaned forward, intrigued. "What do you mean?" Jake sighed. "There's a rumor in the industry that Jake Turner isn't just a screenwriter. Some people think he's involved in some shady business. Industrial espionage, stealing scripts, even blackmail. But it's all just rumors, right?" Liam's eyes widened. "Maybe not. Last week, my agent mentioned that someone was trying to get their hands on the script for my next big project. It's supposed to be under lock and key. The studio is paranoid about leaks. The pieces started falling into place." Jake groaned. "So whoever is behind this thought I was Jake Turner. They must have hired him to steal your new script. And instead, they got you," Liam finished. "An innocent screenwriter who accidentally kidnapped me instead of stealing my script." Jake nodded, the absurdity of the situation hitting him full force. "So now we have to figure out who's behind this, clear my name, protect your script, and expose the real Jake Turner?" Liam grinned, a mischievous glint in his eye. "Sounds like one hell of a movie plot to me. I'm in if you are, partner." And just like that, Jake found himself embarking on a real-life Hollywood adventure with a kidnapped movie star as his willing accomplice. As they drove off into the night, ready to unravel the mystery, Jake couldn't help but think that sometimes, the best stories write themselves. Little did they know, this was only the beginning of a whirlwind adventure that would involve mistaken identities, high-speed chases, a secret underground screenwriting ring, and perhaps even a little romance. But that, as they say, is a story for another time.